How to make it through a citywide winter blackout when the power grid is down, the streets are icy and impassable, and your furnace is as useful as a paperweight. Imagine the power grid collapses under the strain of a polar vortex, turning your city into a frozen wasteland. There's no warning, no backup system kicking in, just the sound of your furnace sputtering to a halt and the lights dimming like fading hope. Outside, the temperature is plummeting faster than your phone battery, which, by the way, is also dead. Inside, your modern climate-controlled home is about to become a walk-in freezer, complete with furniture. The pipes will freeze, your food will either rot or become solid ice, and hypothermia becomes a very real threat. Not tomorrow, but tonight. Every winter, blackouts claim lives, not from starvation or looting, but from the cold and the desperate, ill-considered actions people take to combat it, like using a gas oven for heat indoors or running a generator in the garage until carbon monoxide turns their brains to mush. But don't worry, we're going to survive this blackout using science, ingenuity, and a little bit of controlled chaos. Step 1. Choose your safe room and seal it up tight. Heating an entire house without power is a pipe dream. Instead, focus on heating one room, a small, defensible space where you and your loved ones can huddle together like refugees in a bunker. Find the smallest room in your house with the fewest windows, whether it's a bathroom, a closet, or a windowless bedroom. Aesthetics don't matter. Ushimar, size does. Small rooms retain heat, while big rooms devour it. Now seal it off. Use towels, blankets, old clothes, duct tape, garbage bags, anything to block the gaps under the door and around the window frames. The goal isn't to make it airtight, but to prevent the cold from seeping in like a predator. Every crack is a leak, and every leak means lost degrees. If you have plastic sheeting or even trash bags, tape them over the windows. It might look unsightly, even a little ghetto, but it's effective. You've just created a primitive thermal shelter inside your home. Congratulations, you're now a cave dweller with a mortgage. Step 2, insulate your body as if it's the only heater you have, because it is. Your body is a furnace, a 98.6-degree biological reactor that burns calories and produces heat. However, it also constantly loses heat through your skin, head, hands, and feet. So, layer up. Don't just throw on one thick coat, use layers. Thin, loose layers trap air between them, and air is an excellent insulator. Start with a base layer like long underwear or a thermal shirt. Add a middle layer like a fleece, hoodie, or wool sweater, and finish with an outer layer like a jacket, blanket, or sleeping bag. Wear a hat. A significant portion of your body heat escapes through your skull because your brain is a calorie-guzzling machine, and your head has little fat for insulation. Wear gloves and 2 pairs of socks. Wool is ideal, while cotton becomes a liability when wet. If you don't have enough clothes, wrap yourself in blankets, towels, or old coats from the closet. You might look ridiculous, but you'll stay alive. Here's the science behind it. Your body loses heat through conduction, touching cold surfaces, convection, cold air moving past you, radiation, heat radiating into the surrounding space, and evaporation, sweating. Layers prevent convection and radiation. Staying dry prevents evaporation. Sitting on an insulated surface like a yoga mat, cardboard, or a pile of clothes prevents conduction from the frozen floor. You're not just wearing clothes, you're building a portable microclimate. Let's talk about safe heat sources, not the kind that will kill you in your sleep. And let's get this out of the way right now. Do not use your gas stove or oven to heat your room, no matter how cold it gets. And it doesn't matter if your neighbor is doing it. Gas appliances emit carbon monoxide, an odorless, colorless gas that impairs your brain function and stops your heart while you're just sitting there thinking you're getting a little sleepy. The same goes for charcoal grills, propane camp stoves, and especially generators running indoors or even in the garage. These aren't heaters, they're suicide machines. Every year, blackouts result in fatalities because someone thinks just for a little while won't hurt them. It will. So what can you use? Option 1, body heat. Huddle together. Seriously, get your family, your pets, even your weird uncle, into that sealed room and pile under every blanket you own or get into sleeping bags. Shared body heat is free, completely safe, and surprisingly effective. Humans are essentially walking, talking 98-degree space heaters. Use them. Option 2, safe indoor heaters. If you planned ahead, you might have an indoor-rated propane or kerosene heater. The key words here are indoor-rated, and even then you still need proper ventilation. Crack a window about an inch and run the heater in short bursts to take the edge off. Never sleep with it on. These heaters are designed for this situation, but they still produce combustion gases. Respect them, or they will harm you. Option 3, hot water bottles. Boil water on a camp stove outside or on a small, indoor safe burner. Carefully pour the hot water into containers like jeans, old soda bottles, or anything that can withstand the heat. Wrap them in towels to prevent burns and place them in your sleeping bag or under your blankets. You've just created an instant, portable heat source that will last for hours. Option 4, candles. A few candles in a small, sealed room can raise the temperature by a couple of degrees. It's not much, but in a survival situation, 2 degrees can be the difference between shivering all night and getting some sleep. Use sturdy candles in safe holders and never leave them unattended. A fire during a blackout is a death sentence. The science is simple. Heat is energy. Your body makes it, heaters make it, and candles make it. The goal is to trap that energy in one small room and prevent it from escaping. Insulation plus a heat source plus a sealed space equals survival. You won't be warm, but you won't die. And right now, that's the only standard that matters. Now for step 4, water. Frozen pipes are a catastrophe you can definitely prevent. When the heat goes out, a countdown begins for your plumbing. When water freezes, it expands. And when it expands inside a metal pipe, the pipe bursts. You'll return to a flooded, ruined house when the power finally comes back on. So, drip. Go to every faucet in your house and open it to a slow, steady drop, just a pencil-thin stream. Moving water doesn't freeze as quickly. This isn't a guarantee, but it buys you precious time. If you have pipes in the basement, garage, or crawl space, wrap them with towels, old clothes, foam insulation, or even newspaper. You're simply trying to slow down the freezing process. Now let's talk drinking water. Your hot water heater holds 40 to 60 gallons of perfectly drinkable water. That's your emergency reserve. To access it, turn off the power or gas to the heater, let it cool down, and then open the drain valve at the bottom. Boom, gallons of clean water. You should also have water stored, at least a gallon per person per day. If you don't, fill your bathtub, sinks, and every pot and bucket you have as soon as the power goes out. City water pressure can fail quickly. If you run out of water and need to melt snow, do it outside on a camp stove and only bring it inside after it's melted. Melting snow indoors adds a lot of moisture to the air, which makes the cold feel much worse and can lead to condensation and mold. The science better freezes at 32 degrees. Moving water and insulating the pipes slow down that process. Remember, your body needs water to generate its own heat. Dehydration literally makes you colder. This isn't about comfort, it's about a checklist for staying alive. Heat and water. Handle these 2 things correctly, and you'll get through this just fine. That's how you win. All right, let's keep going. Step 5, food. The mantra here is simple. Eat like a scavenger and think like a strategist. Your fridge is dying and your freezer is dying, but they're not dead yet. This is a race against the clock. A full freezer will last about 48 hours if you keep the door shut. A half-full freezer gives you 24 hours at most. Your fridge is now just a glorified cooler, so you have maybe a day. Prioritize. Start with the fridge and eat leftovers, milk, and anything that spoils quickly. That's round 1. Then move to the freezer. Here's a pro tip. If it's below freezing outside, you've just gained a new appliance. Move your frozen food into a cooler or secure box. Congratulations, your backyard is now a walk-in freezer, but make sure no animals can get to it. Once you've gone through all of that, move on to the non-perishables. Your long-term supply of canned food, pasta, rice, peanut butter, protein bars, and anything else that can sit on a shelf without spoiling. If you need to cook, take it outside and use a camp stove. Or if you have an indoor safe burner, crack a window for ventilation. Do not turn on your gas stove to heat the house or for long cooking sessions, as that's a one-way ticket with carbon monoxide. Here's the science. Your body is a furnace, and in the cold, it burns more calories just to keep you from turning into an ice sculpture. So you need to eat more. High-calorie, high-fat foods are your best friends, like nuts, chocolate, and peanut butter. Dense fuel for your internal engine. Next, step 6, light, because darkness is dangerous. When the power's out, the lights are out, and stumbling around in the pitch black is how you trip, break an ankle, or knock over a candle and watch your whole survival plan go up in smoke. So light it up. Flashlights, headlamps, battery-powered lanterns, even glow sticks. Use them strategically to conserve batteries. Use candles when you're sitting still and save the flashlights for when you're moving around. But what if you're desperate, with no batteries and only one candle left? Look in your kitchen cabinet. You can make a lamp, find a small glass jar or a metal can, and fill it halfway with cooking oil. Any kind will do. Now find a wick, like a strip of an old cotton t-shirt or even a shoelace. Twist it tight, soak it in the oil, and leave about an inch sticking out. Light it. You now have a lamp that will burn for hours. It's primitive science. The oil is the fuel and the wick uses capillary action to draw the oil up to the flame. It's ancient technology and it works. Step 7, communication, because isolation kills hope faster than the cold. Your phone is just a paperweight, the cell towers are down, and the internet is a distant memory. You're cut off. If you planned ahead, grab your hand crank emergency radio now. Tune into local stations, get updates on the blackout, and find out where the warming shelters are. If you didn't plan ahead, you're in conservation mode. Your phone is for emergencies only. Turn off Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and close all the apps to squeeze every last minute out of that battery. Your car charger can give you a boost, but only run the car in short bursts and never in a closed garage. But the most important communication tool you have isn't electronic. It's your own 2 feet. Go check on your neighbors. Knock on doors, especially those of the elderly or people with disabilities. Share what you have and share information. In a blackout, your community is your lifeline. Survival is a team sport. And then it happens. A flicker, the low hum of the grid returning, and the furnace roars back to life. You made it. That sealed room, the layers of clothes, the dripping faucets, and the scavenged food, it all worked. You didn't panic, you didn't poison yourself, and you didn't freeze. You stared down a citywide blackout in the dead of winter and won using nothing but ingenuity, science, and a solid plan. There was no high-tech bunker, no prepper fantasy, just you and the knowledge that when the systems we rely on fail, you don't have to. You survived, and if the furnace doesn't come back on, you know what to do. You have the skills now, and you have the plan. Welcome to the new world, where survival isn't about fighting zombies. It's about fighting the cold and